One not struggling with someone. There it is. Bit blurry. Don't know why. It's better. Ho ho ho. Hello. Step. What does step mean, Mel? Not picking on you. This is in your honour.
What do you call it?
Be right back. You are being honoured by the tribe. You were like teasing us before. Not sure what you mean. Sure was like Mr. Seeds is lively. Do you think I'm lively?
Yeah, sitting 5.
Oh, I see. She's here, but she's playing games, Mel.
Yeah, I'm coming.
She's playing games and ignoring you.
I'm not.
Oh, just an upload. Yeah, I just did a quick one. Have leftovers. They were yum. Fixed up the other window.
Put bed socks.
Socks on a dog.
I bought them for M's dogs and
They couldn't wear it.
about time, Mel.
Second one.
I have to go and get my dressing gown now. I'm cold.
Yeah, I've just seen the picture, Mel. Looks cute. The orange jacket is rather startling.
Yeah, it is.
You're not going to lose them at night. So I finished off the guest bedroom window outside today. All the work that needed to be done, sanded and then painted. Now I've just got to clean it. And then your palace awaits. Looks like Michael Jackson. Well, you have to get him a little monkey then, won't you?
Probably got a monkey.
I think she has actually. That's right, he did wear a nice jacket in the Thriller video, didn't he? Thriller. He needs a white sock, that's true. And he needs a dark Stetson hat and gloves.
What's been happening today, Mel?
Mel's been important, busy. But she might have had a day off actually. We had leftovers, roast potatoes, green beans, and beef, a chopped up thinly. It was delicious. Planted a dwarf mandarin seed. I was looking online actually at Midland Nursery. Guildford Nursery?
Yeah.
Guildford Nursery. And I think the seedless mandarin they have is something like $74. I'm not sure what you paid.
Mel's got lots of grass yard. You plant them straight in the ground, haven't you,
You're
Mel?
a planterer. You got to check that your fruit trees need a pollinator. Sometimes they're self-pollinating. Hello, Tony.
Farming, nurse, planting.
Just 23 kilowatts a power today. A bit cloudy in the morning, but made up for it in the afternoon.
So is one light not on?
Yeah, it sort of very dimly comes on and then turns off. I don't know what's on.
Okay, Mel.
And all I did today, Tony, was sandbag, putty, sand and paint bedroom window number 2. So I didn't do a video. People have seen enough window videos.
And enter, probably Chummo will enter in and say, not another window.
Oh, there's lots of hard work that goes into it. No one cares. I work my fingers, and I did to the bone today. Cut my finger. Trying to use my finger to fill up a crack. And the crack had a bit of a razor sharp edge on it. So I paid the price. So one more window to go. In the door frame. In the frame in the laundry. Never-ending work cycle. The wife cleaned the office floor today. We're getting our air conditioners installed on Tuesday. The old guy that was going to do it, who's off-sider, got the virus. We haven't heard from him, so I hope he's okay. So we've got another guy doing on Tuesday. If you're there, Tony, are you off work at the moment? Just curious. If you're relaxing at home, like the other millions of Australians? This is your show, aren't you?
Protocol.
What's it got to do with what I just said?
Oh, what did you say?
Are you missing your show?
Yeah, I missed most of it already anyway. It's only
Okay.
10 minutes to go.
You want to go and see if the other ones come on now or not? Watch it for a while, see if it's doing what it was doing when I was there.
No,
Is it flickering?
no time flickering.
Yeah, you're not looking at it very long.
I am. And now it's flickering. It's like we just didn't get the child. They look good.
I didn't even see them.
Gotta get the others down. Light up and cover like this.
Same ones.
Yeah, small ones, like.
Put some solar lights in the garden, look quite pretty.
You know, I can make myself a little corner garden here.
Of,
I can.
of,
Of flowers and stuff and a bit of dirt, but put plastic down.
I don't, what, on the pavers?
Yeah,
No.
why?
You don't put plastic down over pavers and pile dirt on top and plant flowers.
Yeah, just
No.
be like,
Be like Bogan. Not sure how you think the soil won't get washed away.
because I have plastic down.
Yeah, plastic flat down, yeah. Rains, soil, plants.
No, I was gonna put rocks around. What?
Just get a raised bed. That bush tucker woman. Chuck her down, she'd be right.
Mm.
It would just wash away.
No, not how I had it in my head.
So the rocks are going to be sealed.
Yeah.
How?
Well, no, they just put around and put plastic and then rocks on top of that so you can't see it, so it holds it. It's not massive.
Yeah, but when it rains, the rocks aren't sealed, so all the dirt will just flow out.
No, because the plastic will be down.
It will just flow out. So you want black plastic and rocks and sand. And how deep you're going to have it, because you need 10 inches minimum.
Fine,
Okay.
I'll just get a rose for the garden bed then.
That's a good idea.
Well, sort of work.
Got rocks down inside the house already. We're going to show them the solar lights, eh? Go for a walk. We dug up some solar lights out of boxes. Can't see much here. I'll have to take you for a walk. That's the other solar lights for the side door. Doing a good job. Quite a good size. They flicker like a flame. Cute. Hello, old Ringo. No worries, mate. I picked up a bench today. This is Jarrah, steel frame. It's going to go next to a barbecue I'm getting second hand, not new. Right, drive carefully. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. You want to get a horn put on the car. Wah, wah, wah.
He's driving home. He'll be listening but won't answer.
Adios, amigo. Did you see the lights?
There, yeah,
No, when I filmed them.
yeah. Forget about them, eh? I think we have, I don't know, another 4 up the top of the cupboard. Small ones. Put them in my garden bed.
In your garden bed. They're all your garden beds. They're exactly where you wanted them. These are your garden beds.
Yeah, you're planting veggies in them.
You can plant flowers in them if you like. On the back one for blueberries,
Yeah.
which are flowers of sorts.
The veggies in the other one.
Look at strange birds.
That's leaves and them blowing in the wind.
No, it's like a bat. Pretty bats.
Cicadas as well, no?
I'm not sure. Temperature here is 20 degrees Celsius. Cool.
I haven't seen VMAC for a while, a few days anyway. I have to email her.
So how is everyone?
Oh,
I was just sanding and painting all day. Nothing exciting.
Mel's gone somewhere. Ringo's driving.
Yep.
And Tony's probably talking to Elbow.
Yeah, his mate.
Playing behind each other. That's the third one. Hers was one over there as well.
Right. Maybe it's those guys coming back from India.
Yeah. Didn't one of the other ones solar lights do that when you first put them up?
I can't remember. Welcome back, Mel. What was for dinners tonight? Rings is driving, so he's just listening.
I hope the sheets won't get here Wednesday. Bet you it'll be Thursday.
Wednesday's tomorrow.
That's right. And what was the message? He wrote the wrong tracking number.
Yeah, it still doesn't show up. I'll go on the laptop short and try again, but it didn't show up.
I just remember the one message you said they were due to arrive on the 8th of April, which I thought was too quick after ordering them anyway.
Well, that was a week. We ordered
Yeah,
the first.
coming from Sydney. I have to wash them first.
Yes, where is Fanny?
Oh, she was on last night.
Fanny,
It could be
where are
late
you?
then.
Wherefore art thou, Fanny?
I think buttons could be in the garden.
Could be. Mind you, I think it's pretty cold. Yeah.
Have you made the pesticide up, Mel?
Yeah, why don't you watch the video?
I put it in, sent it to her in a message as well. It's for it to be eaten overnight. It had to have been something like grasshoppers or something.
Snails can do that overnight.
Yes, Mel. Yes, that's right. And then you'll have heaps, and it's really smelly. Have you got spray bottle?
Smells like an Italian restaurant.
You got spray bottles to put it in?
Well, it just takes a little bit of time.
It works pretty quick whenever you put it on.
I usually leave it for 5 to 7 days to steep. You can take a bit out earlier if you like and try it, Mel. It's not going to do any damage.
It just won't be as strong.
Well, it sort of semi-ferments a little bit. But yeah, try it.
Yeah.
It's got to be slugs and
So
snails.
if your Bunnings actually got plant smell, oh, you would have been sad planting all that, because I saw the photos of what you bought.
All seedlings,
Yeah.
snails. Snails knock the heads off seedlings without any trouble
If
at all.
you've got empty, I don't know if you have, what we did too, at night, at dusk,
At night time, go out with a torch and pick up the snails.
no, cover your seedlings with a 2-litre Coke bottle cut in half. That'll do 2 plants.
Yep, that'll help them.
That's what we did. Our Bunnings has got nothing.
Nope, suddenly everyone wants to grow.
Nah.
Go and get my dressing gown.
And they won't be full, Mel. If you had planted another lot, they'll probably get to it. But if you've got empty, I just ask people on my local site for empty 2-litre Coke bottles, cut them in half, and just at night time cover the plant, and first thing in the morning take it off, obviously. Because it's at dusk until the sun comes up is when they seem to go for everything. Look at those legs. He's going to get his dressing gown. any plastic bottle cut in half. Can't see his legs now? Oh, you can. See the bottom half of his legs.
Down to 20 degrees, it's freezing.
It's also got the fan on.
Yes, let us know, away.
Yeah.
No, just give me. So what was for dinner? What did you have? What did you partake in?
It is cold tonight, I know.
Got some green tape, if you could write that down. I got a J.A. fish burger. Sounds nice. I don't mind even, like a nice bit of bread and a couple of fish fingers. It's not the a la carte fish, but leftover slow pulled pork. Yum.
I can't get
Oh,
it
did
right
you
now.
see that door open by itself? Mel,
Mel, did you see that?
the door opened by itself. And then the camera made a strange movement. It doesn't normally do that.
Yes, fish fingers with cheese. Sandwiches.
Actually, I've got some in the freezer.
I don't want any now.
The ghost of Mel. Your paranormal kinetic energy.
Ghost of Mel is visiting.
I mean, it sometimes unlatches, but it doesn't normally open.
Yeah. Fish finger and cheese sandwiches.
I picked up today, Mel, a bench. It's sort of a light steel with a Jarrah top on it. That's going to sit next to my barbecue.
Just checking your room out. Yeah, you can check your room out in here. There's no
Well,
sheets on the
did-
bed yet, Mel.
I did your window today on the outside. Now I've got to clean the glass.
So one night you have to sleep outside under the window so you can appreciate it, and then you can sleep in the room.
Where you get that? She's talking about the linen.
That.
Oh, that was on Gumtree.
It's going to be a side thing to a Barbie, like a...
Yeah, it's a light steel frame with a solid Jarrah, handmade Jarrah top on it, which I'll lightly sand back and oil. Be really good next to the Barbie. You'll be able to put your salads on there.
plates, whatever, while you're cooking.
Actually, all the things in there are from Gumtree. The bookcase, the dresser, the dining table, the TV cabinet, the two chairs. All Gumtree. All bargains. You probably need to tell me, Mel. I'm the hunter-gatherer on Gumtree.
I look too, but it's usually stuff that we can't agree on.
Everything that is in there you agreed on.
Yeah, I mean when I pick something.
Even the lamp. And the table that the lamp's on. Gumtree.
Yep. Well, you have to tell me what you need, Mel.
I always find, I'm sure you do as well, Mel, is that when you go to someone else's place, there's certain things you, oh, I like that. As in a bit of furniture or how things are laid out. But one thing we haven't got yet is curtains.
Yeah, well, that's probably just going to have to wait. I can't go look at curtains with you because you'll get bored because it sets
Well,
spotlight.
you were in charge of curtains. You were going to do all that. You had someone coming around and...
Yeah, I know, and I told you.
But-
They obviously don't
I
want to
know,
do
I
it.
know. But I could organise it if you don't want to.
No, I will.
Okay.
We know what curtain rods.
We don't want Mel staying in the room and then she gets out of the shower totally naked and wanders past the window. And outside is Gringo, Shamo, Jojo. That sounds like a band.
Oh my God, Mel, I will never.
Hello,
get
Scarlett.
Wooden blinds. Same as normal blinds. No, Venetians. No, thank you. To be honest, I don't even want plantation blinds because that's the same thing.
I just want curtains that you can tie back, that look nice and work. So we've got to get nice curtains so Mel feels comfortable. I've never liked wood blinds, ever actually. Or even Venetian blinds. I don't
No.
really.
Then we've got one in the laundry and that will eventually go.
But even though they're not the best things in the world, the curtains in bedroom, they're very practical and they work.
Yeah. Feather duster, but it's still just that I've got enough dusting to do. Okay, Mel. Add blinds on top of it. How'd your bread go, Scarlett? Yes, curtains are. It's like, waiting for something to happen.
I didn't get a chance to make bread. I was going to today, but I was busy with the second bedroom window.
So Scarlett, your bench.
I've got a bench next to my barbecue. It's sort of a metal frame with very solid Jarrah top on it.
Will be good.
So it'll be good next to a barbecue. Put the potato salad and bits and pieces there. Yeah, I like a bit of salt on bread. It's nice. It's like having pretzel. I like pretzels with a bit of salt on top.
Yum. Pretzels.
You should learn how to make them.
Yeah.
Make it your specialty.
Yeah.
There's a place that we go to get pretzels. Every time we go there, they're sold out. I know.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll be open.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen them advertised since this has all happened, so they could be closed.
Yeah, no, just on top. Just as you put a bit of water on top and then you sprinkle a bit of salt. That's how I do it. Yeah, some people are just really good at making them. We had a good baker when we were over east. Used to get them from there.
And Mark got us some once, but again, they're not open to the public. I don't know if they deliver actually.
Sounds good to me. Sounds very close to a ploughman's lunch.
I'll have the pretzel and the cheese, but not the jerky.
I like bread, pickles, cheese, fruit. Good combination. And a bit of homemade dip of some sort. Maybe a little bit of mustard. Definitely some of my homemade bread and butter pickles. They're definitely a go. Yep, mix it up, a bit of jam. When we get finished with the house, which we're nearly finished, we'll have nights like that where we just have cheese platter type thing with breads and cheese. Got a couple of those things Danny sent us, we can use those. I've got a fig and tomato jam. Actually, that's good to have when you have people over, instead of like having a monstrous meal. Just have a good sized platter. People can nibble from it.
Yeah.
Yep, that works well. I'll tell you what works really well is figs put on top of blue cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like blue cheese, of course. You just open up a fig and put crumbs and blue cheese on top. Put it under the grill for just a little bit. Bit of black pepper, yum. Bleu cheese. Bleu fromage. Or should they say fromage bleu?
No, I've tried blue cheese, many different. I just don't like it. It's like that smelly cheese that Mum and Dad used to love.
Lindenberg, I think they used to.
That was one of them. Soft cheese.
Roquefort's nice, yeah. You've got to have, it's like, some people like anchovies, and I can't stand them. But then the same person, if I said have some blue cheese, they go, I can't stand it. So we've all got these indifferences that we have to food.
Well, you reckon the New Zealand blue cheese is the best?
Yeah, mainland.
Mainland.
Yeah, it's just a very mild blue cheese. Gorgonzola is the king of the blue cheese, of course. But it doesn't come from Gorgonzola. So what I do like doing when I make some buns, Scarlett, is to sprinkle, it does come from Italy. What I like to do is put a little bit of water on top of the buns just prior to going in the oven. And then I put a little bit of Parmesan on top. Yum. Or if you're making focaccia, add a bit of Parmesan in there. Yum. I think if, like I say, the world went to pot, I know how to make cheese. And I'd make mistakes making some of the ones I don't know, but I'd make them. And I know how to make bread. And I'd have a cow. So if I've got bread, cheese, and cow, I'm good. You can live off that.
Yeah, I do like parmesan on a sketty bog.
I make a focaccia with a bit of Parmesan. You can try that.
You have? I've had it.
Yeah, it's yum. Because if you've got bread, you've got flour. And if you've got flour, you've got pasta. Life can be so simple, I suppose, when you think about foods. You have to have a cow, though. That gives you milk, cheese.
Chickens.
You order the bacillus. Oh, okay. Simple cottage cheese is really easy. It's nice to throw in a salad, like with red onion, tomato and things like that. It's just simply different ways of doing it. I just add a little bit of vinegar and within moments you've got curds and whey. Press them out. I leave mine overnight and voila. Simple cottage cheese. Mozzarella's pretty simple too, yeah. You can't always get lemons, but you can always have vinegar on hand. Lemon juice actually does it a bit better. There's lots of easy cheeses to make, and when you think about it, they're very simple, and they're ready nearly immediately, and you can get a lot of nutrition from cheese, and also you can preserve it, and you can have cheese for quite a long time. Sometimes cheese gets better with age. Bread, cheese, fruit, pasta, milk, chickens for eggs. Yeah, you've just about got everything you need. And then have a garden. Basically a vegetarian diet, which was really what most people used to eat. Yeah, it's the easy way of doing it by using wax, but if you turn your cheeses, you've really got to turn them maybe once or twice a day. And you've got to have a little container full of salt where you can rub it on each side, you know what I mean? So you can make cheddars and all sorts, braise. But you do need to work it. With wax, you seal it. So, job done, basically. Yeah, a lot of old artisan cheesemakers just have a brine made up. It's quite strong. And they just get a cloth and they'll wipe the top, wipe the bottom.
Budgie's just talking to her son and then she'll be on.
Okay. You can brush them, but it's just the salt. You end up with this natural reaction. But like I say, you can make it. As long as you've got a lot of milk, you make a lot of cheese. Yogurt, cream. Endless, really. And milk has an enormous amount of the minerals and nutrition we need. Special cheese salt. Do you make a brine with it, or do you just... Most people make brines when they're salting cheeses. A brewer's supply. Sounds good. If you got yeast, you can make alcohol. Yeah, but you can't make alcohol out of milk. You do a dry rub, yeah. Well, the brine is one I've seen many times where they'll have the same brine. Basically, it's X amount of salt, X amount of water, mineral salt. And they just use a cloth, wash the cloth when they're finished, but they leave the brine as it is. Champagne yeast for my sodas. Just gotta make the CO2. But I don't know how many people... So the basic one, Scarlett, to teach people is just the cottage cheese. You season all cheeses, of course, but you don't over-season it. Yep, cotton curtains are about the best. It's nearly better than cheesecloth. Hello, Mel. But just a simple cottage cheese. I will await my stars, says Mel.
Yes, one sec.
It's quite incredible, Scarlett, because most Australians are at home. They've all decided to grow gardens, which I'm thrilled about, to be honest. But I can't get any seedlings because they're all sold out.
I'll give you 4 mil. Did you... Mel, do you make bread? Yeah. Oh God, don't say that to seeds. Don't. You just said... Mel, you just said the wrong thing.
Bloody contraptions. I can make a better soup in a pot than you'll ever make in a Thermomix. Yep, you can do that. Giovanni Marsipelli once said, pushing a button does not make you a chef. I agree with him. Oi, where's the seeds? My daughter got a Thermomix. She challenged me, Mel. She was going to make pumpkin soup. And I just had the pumpkin in front of me. And we cut it in half. I added my onions, garlic, carrots, potatoes. In 20 minutes, I hand mashed it with a mashed potato thingy. I added my little bit of Italian herbs and some butter beans at the end. My daughter's soup was still cooking. We waited. We put a bowl of my soup down in front of her and a bowl of her soup down in front of me. She tried it, then she tried her soup, and she said, yeah, righty-o. Mine's crap. I'm sure you're very good at it. I'm just old school, Mel. I've seen all the gadgets. I love cooking. You really are an alchemist. But I don't use electric mixers, I don't use... I just use a potato mash. Because I like my soup to have a little bit of body. Do you know what I mean? Now, sometimes I'll actually take a very large spoonful of vegetables out of the soup before I pummel the rest and put some back in. Oh, you're agreeing with me? Yeah. I'm not against anyone cooking with any device. I just know that I end up with a better product by doing it my way, just with the old pot, pans, cast iron, whatever. There are flavours you can't replicate in a machine. It's like bread making machines. Nothing against them, but it doesn't taste the same as if you make it, hand mould it, put it into a bread bin, or just make a Vienna loaf. It's simply different. There's no doubt, let's be honest, convenience, like you can buy custard. Takes me probably 20 minutes to make custard from scratch, whereas I can go to the fridge and have instant custard. Welcome home, gringo. Welcome to the stone in the middle of the village. This hangout is in honour of the Be Right Backs. But I will make bread tomorrow. I'm only going to do the cleaning of that window and make bread. Maybe I'll sand that down. Yes, Mel? How long will it take it to fruit? It generally will be starting to bud now, and if it's a dwarf or it's a normal mandarin tree, there is a bit of a difference. A dwarf will probably take a season to come good, but if you've got a normal mandarin tree, you should be able to harvest around late July, August and September. And they take quite a while to ripen. You get temptations, using your language. Dwarf, yeah, it could take a bit longer. It depends. Have you got any small buds or flowers on there now? You need to have at least flowers on now, because they need to set. And I don't know what species of mandarin you have. Sometimes they're self-pollinating.
Well, she put 58 years.
You're an orchid farmer. No, I don't think you're an orchid farmer.
But you have to have
You're not
something-
growing orchids. Now, come on, Mel.
Do you have to have something to cross-pollinate it?
Don't know. That would be on the label that she bought it from.
You have to read it, Mel.
But you normally no problems, because most people in your neighbourhood, someone will have oranges or lemons. You just need cross-pollination. It doesn't have to be from the same species. You do need apples to pollinate apples. I think pears can just about be self-pollinating most of the time. Oranges, lemons self-pollinating, really. We're going to have 2 lemon trees. You've got it all. We're yet to get them. I asked Mrs. Siege if she wanted a cherry tree, and she said no.
I don't. I used to love cherries, but I think I'm just too lazy to worry about the damn pip in a cherry. And then you don't get a good one.
Not fresh cherries are yum.
We used to, every Christmas, that was the big thing, because they were expensive as I was growing up. Cherries at Christmas time, my God, we used to fight over them.
Well,
I
about
just-
$30 a kilo.
Yeah, I just, no, I'm not really bothered with cherries
That's a
anymore.
problem, isn't it, Scarlett? It's like plums, apricot, peaches. Just as they're coming to absolute yumminess, in comes 1,000 birds. And they don't eat one whole fruit. They just pick a hole in that one, pick a hole in another one, tear a bit off that one.
So,
Yeah, you can put netting over.
those little what is it, cardinal, what is the bird that Mungo said? They're really pretty.
There's heaps of cherries. Yeah, they need to be set cold, that's for sure. It's like blueberries. We can grow blueberries here because we have developed different species. But a lot of blueberries, natural, have to have that frost set. They've got to have cold for at least 4 to 5 weeks. But we've got one here called Blush. And when we get them going, Scarlett, you'll see how big these bloody blueberries are. They're like
Yum.
half an inch across, fat, juicy.
You name all your birds, Mel.
Gary, the Ivan, the Ivana.
How's the squirrel going, Bringo?
How does the squirrel go?
Well, no, the squirrel, we were talking one night and he was sitting outside and it looks like he was listening to your voice.
Ibises can be a pain in the bum, Mel. Nice bird, but they could take over your backyard. You've got to keep water up, yep, to blueberries. The natural environment is like in a pine area, so the
Okay,
soil is really acidic
Go pee.
and it's always damp. Yours are classy ibises. Okay.
No ibis is classy, Mel. Funny big bird, but pain in the neck, especially when they poop down the fence.
Yeah, long streaks of
And they smell.
stinky birds, yeah.
They have trouble with them in Kings Park and in the park near Sydney railway station.
But all over the world they've got an ibis variety, haven't they? We've seen them everywhere.
Yeah.
Sort of wetlands bird.
If you grew cherry tree, Matina would move in.
She likes cherries.
Oh, she absolutely loves them.
Well, easy enough to grow. You just
No.
have to find out about cross-pollination, that's
I
all.
mean, I'd be giving them away. Do you eat cherries?
Fresh ones I eat, yeah. I don't like the ones that are glazed.
Oh, no, I don't either.
They're good for you?
Yeah, I know they are, but I mean, it's not that I'd eat them, but it's not one of my favourites.
Cure gout, yep. They've got a lot of refining abilities for your blood, that's for sure. Because gout is terrible because it's basically your urine crystallising in your joints. Doesn't even sound nice, does it? Yep, the black cherry is supposed to be the best. That's it, uric acid. It's the non-ability of the body to remove it. That's the problem. Good circulation. We all pray for one. But we're definitely going to have Golden Delicious apple and another apple variety, so cross-pollination takes place. Pears, which will self-pollinate. Mandarins.
Yeah, because you like mandarins.
Orange.
No, again, that's sort of when I want those. I mean, you've got to think how much fruit you get off the tree.
Quite a bit.
That's what I mean.
See, I'd eat pears every day because I love pears and cheese.
Yeah, I like pears.
Actually, pears and blue cheese, Scarlett. Yum.
A nice sweet orange, I suppose, but definitely lemon, my blueberries.
Well, our
Oh,
bodies
delicious.
just age and circulation doesn't get any better, but you can maintain a fairly good circulation if you do the right things. Yep, that's the problem. People sometimes forget, Scarlett, it's all right cross-pollinating, but if one's not flowering and one's trying to set, nothing happens.
It's like if you've got gout, you shouldn't eat tomatoes. You had gout once.
Mm-hmm.
Had to cut tomatoes out. Oh.
No, I eat them all the time. Yeah, you're pretty okay, Scarlett, with citrus, obviously. But different apples and different pears and different things, it depends on their actual species when they flower.
I mean, I like peach. I'm not that keen on plum. Can you get me a peach tree? I'd eat
Yes,
that.
yeah, you can. Yep.
I'd have a peach tree. But that you'd have to net.
Yeah, we lost it. We had 5 big peach trees when we lived down south in this state. And I swear to you, just one morning we heard this almighty call. And they'd gone and chomped on every peach. Hello, chick, how you going?
Yeah, we lost a lot of peaches that.
I hear you can be
Sorry?
quite savage, chick, with cherry trees, as in pruning. Lots of issues about trying to not prune. Most fruit trees, nut trees, they actually do better when you do prune them. Native,
You mean tree?
there is
fruit?
lots of different fruits and
You mean
nuts in the bush here.
Like we've got a bush tomato, which is native. and
Small,
that's
it's like a
nice.
currant actually,
That's yum. And
or big
a
blueberries, what it looks like.
native passion fruit that I used to grow. Man, when that fruited and the Aboriginals came into town, they used to just take them all off my bush.
If you don't prune, you end up getting a cluster, which means light doesn't get through to the whole plant. This is the secret with fruit trees. You sometimes need to be harsh and cut out that stem that you know will put heaps of leaves, and then there's no sunlight.
Wow, that's a big cherry tree.
Wow, plenty of cherries coming off that one. We had a 50-foot avocado tree.
Yeah.
We had hundreds of avocados, and they just went all season, all year.
I'm not that keen on pawpaw.
That's right. When you actually prune, you keep disease, because things like mould, mildew, just it happens if branches are close together, then they get diseased, and so the secret is to open up your trees.
Acorn
Corns,
flatbread.
beans, and squash.
Acorn flatbread sounds nice actually. Acorn flatbread.
Well, acorn would be the squash you're talking about.
No, Gringo said acorn.
Well, acorn is a squash in the US. It is. It's very. There's lots of different things, like, if you eat certain nuts out of peaches, or
Oh, you can't.
it'll kill you because it's cyanide.
It's like the apple seed.
There are 3 sisters. Yeah, acorn squash is quite a popular American squash.
What sort of apple trees you got, Chick?
Acorn, yeah, I know. Squirrels love them. When I was in the UK, they'd definitely be gathering the acorns, pop them out of that little
hang on,
shell.
I'm getting confused here. So you've got an acorn squash, but then you've got the acorn seed from the tree.
Yeah, well, acorns come from oak trees, which means
Yeah.
they're like little cups with
I
a
know
little
what they are.
egg in it.
Because
That's
we
what an
make,
acorn.
that's what our gum nut,
Yeah, very similar. Our gum nuts are very similar to
our gum nut characters.
acorns.
That's a big business here, mate.
Now I hear a gaggle of geese. Could be the fan in the background. Sorry about that, old gringo. Even though it's cool, if we're having a cigarette, we like it to blow
Our
away.
gum nuts, they make little characters out of it. We've even got the gum nut factory. Actually,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's still going. That's in Fremantle.
Oh, that's a big tree. Pretty sure, isn't the acorn squash a winter squash for you there? We don't grow them here.
So what, who's got
Oh,
two
that's a
rows?
bit of a worry, old gringo.
Oh, outside your door.
We get so many different parrots, and they're migratory, as in they'll go to the desert,
Oh, St. Dinners, let me,
and they come in at certain
Have a
times
look.
of year, and they're about to come in now, so we'll have many different species. That looks yum.
oh, that roll looks really yum, Mel.
I'm nearly tempted, Scarlett, because our summer has gone on for so long, and I'm thinking about growing a particular species called Tommy Toe tomato. It should fail. It should fail. But our temperatures aren't dropping as such, if you know what I mean. And Tommy Toe survives down to about 12 degrees Celsius. So I'm wondering, can I grow tomatoes in the middle of my winter? Never done it before, but our seasons have changed so much. Like 3 days ago, it was 100 degrees here, 103, which is extraordinary for the middle of autumn.
So the Rose of Sharon is a rose tree, Chick? Because I've actually heard of that name.
I think it's just a name of a tree. Yeah, it won't hurt just to try one. There's a couple of particularly sunny spots that it could go. But I'm curious, because what I'll do, I'll actually prune quite heavily. So I'll get it up to about 3 or 4 feet and just keep pruning it, so the plant's not under stress. And let's see what it produces. shouldn't produce anything. But like I say, our seasons are weird. Yeah, it's a tree. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, it's okay. I have heard of it.
Sounds good. Sounds yum.
Wow,
Got every ingredient you need in there.
very
Meat.
adventurous.
Noodles, veggies.
Oh, that sounds like a pretty tree.
We've got a plant that I grew many years ago called a moonflower. And I'm sure you all know what that is. It's a very white, trumpet-looking flower that comes only out at night time. And by morning, that flower has fallen off.
Matina's got
But
one.
the
I think.
perfume is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Matina's got one.
Had
Oh.
it all over my barbecue area, my property. It was just everywhere. And at night time, it was like little lights on everywhere. And by morning, 150, 200 flowers.
I'm sure that's what Matina has.
And each flower ends up with 3 seeds, like dark, small hazelnut-looking things they were.
Mel, what's a rose of Karen? Is that another tree, not a rose bush?
She's not talking about the Rosa Tralea, is she? Type of morning glory, yeah. They're prolific vines. They just go and go. Hibiscus tea. We get lots of hibiscus in Australia. It's very popular. Another very popular flower. And you might grow that actually as a camellia. They're nice smelling. Chick says, look at my backyard where I just took over. Yeah, just keep going. There's so many different teas that you can take. Most of them will be antioxidant to your body, so take all the crap out of you, it's good.
With your 7 apple trees.
Jamaica, spelled like Jamaica.
Jamaica.
He says you use the hut as a jar.
That's
So,
like
Jamaica.
jalapeno.
Yeah. Jamaica? No, she came of her own accord. Sumac. Yeah, sumac, I've tried as a spice and it's like, has a place, but it's usually in like Indonesian, Indian, Bangladeshi type food. It's not something I would use in traditional cooking.
Never heard of it.
Sumac. It got sort of very popular about 10 years ago. One was sprinkling sumac on everything.
What's it taste like?
It's a spice of its own. Itchy sumac. J is like H. That's what I said, yeah. So it's Jamaica. But there is nothing like, and you guys are heading towards it, growing your homegrown tomatoes, your heirloom tops, your brandy wines, your beefsteaks. You just can't beat going down to your backyard, take a knife with you, some salt, pull off a nice big brandy wine or ox heart, sit down and cut it up, sprinkle a bit of salt on it. It's oozing absolute ripeness. Can't beat it. Best snack you'll ever have. That's what I mean, straight off the bush. Maybe you can make a few bob out of a chick. I don't know how my strawberries are going to go because I'll grow them, just that they never seem to last. The kids will be like, oh, strawberries.
I want them in hanging pots. I've been looking at some stands that standalone that you can put pots on. It's just every time we put them in the garden, if the grandkids don't get them first.
Well, the birds that you have to watch
And
out
then
for
the
first.
ants. That's why I
Well,
want.
the ants only come after the birds have opened up the strawberry.
That's why I want to put them in hanging pots.
I do like a nice grilled tomato. I think eradicated, but yes,
Well,
we
then
eat nasty sumac.
you have to get rid of it, do you, chick? Mr. Speed.
Hello, Mr. Speed.
Long time no see.
Welcome to the rock in the middle of the village. But a great time for you up north. Lots of plantings and things about to take off. I hope you've got all your pumpkins and watermelons in, because you
Well,
should have had them in by now.
Yep, so they're ready for Halloween. Hopefully our front will be done for Halloween. Oh, okay, chip. Yeah. Our tree lopper, he's a pretty good guy. Good price he charges us too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We won't need him for a while. But
No. It depends what zone you're in, of course. Onion, peas, beans. You get your dwarf beans can go in next. We can grow lettuce about any time of the year here. It's just the heat that we can't grow it through. Let us go to seed way too quick.
a ham and cheese. I read that as bam and cheese sandwich.
That sounds good.
Alright, enjoy your sandwich.
Chuck a bit of raw, very finely sliced onion in there. You'll thank me later. Yeah, it sounds like a monster.
Ah.
Thing about legumes, you can get away with the cold. They're just dormant. They're just, unless they shoot and they get frost, well, yeah, they're buggered. But I like dwarf beans
Yeah.
better than runner beans. I like a particular species we call hawksberry. It grows about a foot and a bit tall. It gives you about 4 flushes. It'll be yummy beans. Fresh beans, can't beat them. Very, very finely sliced. Just mix it in with the cheese. Just
Right.
goes well with ham, cheese and onion.
Put it in between the ham and the cheese.
Yeah, just very thin slices. It's yum. Onions are really good for you. Nature's medicine.
So Gringo's bringing us all a sandwich. Scarlett's going to bring us all the coffee. Chick will bring us some apples from her apple
Chick will bring
tree.
you an 80-foot sumac tree if you like. So jobs for me tomorrow are, I'm going to sand that new table I got for next to the barbecue. I'm going to clean the window in the spare bedroom, and then I'm going to make pea and ham soup. My favourite cool weather soup.
So you have to sand and all that because
It's got a little bit of varnish badly put on there,
um,
so I'll sand that off, and then
That's-
I'll oil it.
protected if we put anything hot on there. Not that we would, but
Well, the timber's going to protect it. The oil, it'll look a bit like that. A little bit lighter, probably 2 or 3 coats of oil on it. And while I'm oiling that, I'll oil the, geez, I've got heaps to do tomorrow then. So if I oil that and I've got the oil out, I'll oil the frame.
we'll just do a bit.
Can't
It's
do a
all
bit.
jobs that you said you wanted to do, you enjoy doing,
And you said you'd help me.
where I can, or to a point.
That's right, to you, this is to a point. Mandy says, that needs doing, and that needs doing, and when you finished it, that needs doing over there. So that's to the point.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't say I'd help you with everything. I helped you with the sanding.
Yep.
Oh, keeps you busy, keeps you young.
Wears me out.
Huh?
I'm a plotter. I know what I have to do and I'll get it done.
Same as me.
And I work on the principle that job's done, that's one less to do.
That's right, but some of the jobs I do are continuous.
And they are
Cleaning.
playing on the computer.
Yeah, my games are cleaning, washing. I will say ironing, even though I don't iron.
Don't know. Cooking.
I actually found an iron today. You'll get it under control, Chick.
We use a method in Australia. It may or may not be done in the US, but a few of the friends I have in the US used to do it, and it works. You get a 55-gallon drum and you take the top and bottom off. And after you've lopped the tree, if you can fit the 55-gallon drum over the top, you then light a fire next to it, and then you end up with this whole heap of coals, they're red hot, and you put it in there and you fill the damn drum up. And it will smoulder for 3 weeks. It will keep going. What it does, it bores down into the core of the root. And you don't have to do anything other than keep an eye on it. You don't want any bushfires or anything like that. But it works. It ends up destroying the enzyme within the roots of the tree. And in the end, it goes down quite a depth, and then you've virtually got a nice area, flat, no tree. Of course, the old gnarly roots, that's a different story. No, well, it's like anything in life. I've had people come and do
Yeah.
odd jobs,
They're hard workers.
and I pay them a fair wage. Like, I am more than happy to get someone who's got a bit of skill, and I'll pay them for 6 hours work. I'll give them $300, $50 an hour. But that's if they've got the skills. I'm not going to. One guy came around once, and I got him to help me dig up some roots. He said, I normally charge $70 an hour, and I said, we obviously don't work much then. He said, what do you mean? I said, no one charges $70 an hour.
Well, not what he.
No, he didn't have. Yeah.
Yeah. So you enjoyed the sandwich, did you, Algringo?
I don't know if he's eaten it yet.
Well, he's obviously eating it because he said not bad. So I'm presuming he's talking about his sandwich.
People don't like raw onion in like a toasted sandwich. There's a real quick fix. You slice onions up really fine and you just put them into a bowl and put whatever vinegar you got, just a little bit of vinegar. Don't soak it like a soup, it's just coating them. But within 20 minutes you've got pickled onion and it's softer. And then some people say that's better than eating raw onion. I love raw onion.
Well, I do too, but I only eat the red onion.
Cheese and onion, they just work together. Of course, I might chuck a little bit of chopped up garlic in there as well. Mother Nature's gifts to us are the foods that heal. And there are foods that harm, like donuts
Oh, yum.
and things like that,
Cinnamon.
cakes. But onions, garlic, ginger, they really do help your body. They're good for your circulation, actually. Your immune system apparently benefits from garlic, onions and ginger and honey.
So you have a neighbour chick that's not going to help?
Well, if it's between two properties, they're both, and if it's dangerous, they're both liable for it. Well, yeah, I'll do a video making French onion soup. It's a long process, Scarlett, as you know. It is a very long process, but it's well worth it. And I've shown my daughters once, and they think, how many onions are you cooking? And I said, I know it looks a lot now, but it ain't going to be a lot when I'm finished.
Oh my God, chick.
I have a beef broth with my French onion soup, and I use, Vienna bread, toasted, Gruyere on top, put under the grill. Yum. But it's a big process, but it's well worth the taste and flavour.
Well, maybe they'll move for you, chick. Oh, you've got a carton of eggs out here too. You better check the use by date on them. Huh?
Yeah, barrels here are very expensive. Like to get a proper whiskey or even a wine barrel,
They are expensive.
$300.
Oh, I can't open that.
Asked a bloke once if it's $300 for the empty wine bottle, how much is it if it's full?
And did you hear I said you've got a thing of eggs out here?
Mm-hmm. They're good.
Yeah, I have to check the use by date on them.
I'll just bring them in as we go in tonight. You're having a bad neighbour. Oh, than having a bad neighbour, gotcha.
Yeah, you don't get on with your neighbours, that's not good.
We've only had one bad neighbour in many years. He mouthed off at me so much, I invited him to come into my yard. He had all his young sons and friends around, and I said, come here, buffhead, bring it on. And he cowered away.
Who was that?
Neighbour with the loud music in Richmond.
Oh, that just never went well. He didn't like anyone. So it didn't matter who lived there.
Didn't like his wife, didn't like his kids.
I reckon he was the one who poisoned
The
Vicky
cat.
and the cat.
Yeah, I reckon. But when challenged, he backed down like a cowering coward. Yeah, so another little task to do tomorrow.
I've got to do the linen press. I've got to empty all that out and
Oh dear, that's no good, chick. Yeah, dogs are the best thing in the world. Look, even a little yapper. If there's some person think, oh, I'll go and see if I can steal something. If a dog goes, whoa, 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 they don't do it.
I just send seeds out. I send the 6'5" squash squat. How do you say it? That squat out.
Yeah, geese are bloody brilliant, guard dogs. Unfortunately, chick, there's a lot of crazy around.
Sasquatch. I can never say that word. Sasquatch.
Chickens, yeah, it's always good. You don't need many more than 3 or 4, to be honest. You get about 6 to 8 weeks of the year that chickens don't lay. But for the rest of the year, they're laying all the time. It's good to have fresh eggs, let's be honest. They do poop everywhere, of course, which can be beneficial or a pain in the ass if you stand in it. Yeah, the thing I've noticed, Mel, is that usually aggressive, nasty people don't like to be treated well. And they sort of, oh, I'll stay away from her. 3 or 4 is good. You've got to have more than, can't have 1,
No.
too lonely. 2's okay, but at least 3. 4, I think, is about the max you'd need if there's just 1 or 2 people. Because you'll end up giving heaps of eggs away. But you could trade them.
Not really had to see. Would have had to make more be honest.
Oh, I can make areas for them. It's fine.
Yeah, make them stand across the road, hey Mel. We're at the neighbour's truck. Used to sit on our lap. The one on the other side of the
Yeah,
main neighbour.
yeah.
Come look through the screen door.
Sit on the chair as if I'm here, I'm staying. Yeah, you shouldn't fight people because it's a waste of time. Just do what's within your rights.
So who moved there first, chick, you or her? It's still hard when you haven't got nice neighbours. It just makes it unpleasant.
Mm. You were cold. I imagine you got that bit of frosty weather that come through with the storm. Normally a problem, like here, after you have a storm, usually the air behind it's cold. It can be worse than the actual storm. Yeah, just being a pain in the ass, obviously, chick. Wind, the rain, then the cold. It's usually how it works. Yep, we get the same here. We get storms come up from the Antarctic and they can be bitterly cold.
Oh, to the bone.
Yeah, it's like just the chill in the air. The temperature might only be like 5, but it feels like -10. And that can destroy some gardens sometimes. We get massive winds with them as well. 70, 80 mile an hour winds. Yeah, a lot of veggie gardens can survive that, but a lot don't. Yeah, you just get it pushed straight down onto you. That was some weird weather in the US.
Oh,
Really hot. Hello, Ella. Bella.
Even us.
But 20 degrees it is, exactly. And that's cool for us.
Yeah, Mel. Send happiness to them. Fairy dust. I'd sprinkle I'll send you some fairy dust, chick. We'll blow some over. Mel and I'll do a meditation and visualise fairy dust going onto your neighbour's property, chick, and all over her. There you go, Ella.
I know nothing. Yeah, it was an abbreviated version. I do apologise, Ella. I'm tired. I've been working all day. I'm an old man. I worked all day. My wife pointed at things and I had to do them.
You didn't do the music.
Then she pointed at other things and I had to do them.
What?
But you did lift windows up and down for me so they didn't stick when I painted.
Oh, God.
No, you were very helpful today. You were. Is that another caterpillar crawling up in the corner there?
Yep.
Geez, we're getting a heap of them, aren't we?
Yeah, that's why there was so many in the boxes when I did the shed out.
I think so. They're trying to find the boxes again.
They've obviously come from that tree.
I think so.
If they turn into nice butterflies,
Yeah, there is here.
they'd be fine.
We would have probably kicked our business back into gear, but 7 of 8 of our organic suppliers don't have any workers, and they're in dire straits as in harvesting seeds, and so they don't have anything for me to resell.
See, we couldn't start it with the house build. There was no room for a start.
Plus, we're working every day.
And then when we were thinking about starting again, all this stuff happened.
What worries me is I've seen another news report. Now, I don't know which city in the US it was, but they were expecting at a food bank, drive-through food bank, to get about 100 people. They had 800 people come through. I think there's a lot of people falling through the gaps in regards to unemployment. They're not getting it. This $1,200 is not enough. And then I watched a show about American producers. One guy has these magnificent beans. He has acres and acres and acres and acres of beans. There's no one to pick them. So he's just going to bury them back into the ground. And they're the best looking beans I've ever seen. So is there going to be a food shortage? Not at the moment, but maybe in the longer term there could be a great deal of shortage.
Well, the way our Bunnings is getting sold out, there's no shortage in Australia.
You'll get by. Everyone's going to get by. Just that some of the things you're used to getting may not be available.
But if they do the what's the name rule? What do you call the rule? I'm too tired to think. The
Distancing rule.
yeah,
It's a bit hard to do in some, like producing is like, if say one of 50 people get the virus, the whole lot's got to be quarantined.
Well, that's what I'm saying now. What if they tested them all, but then they've all got to stay there and they can't leave that property?
Well, no, they won't let people stay together if there's a doubt. Someone's just saying that they're shutting farms down.
Yeah, I know, but there's got to be some way, like I said, test a heap of people that have been isolated, they're clear, ship them down to the whoever who needs the help.
It sounds easy, but it's not. And I agree with Mel. Frontline workers of all description and around the world are really.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're not being ignored, but there's plenty of people in Australia who don't have to work, and they get $1,500 a fortnight for not working, guaranteed for 6 months. Whereas people working in essential jobs have to work, and they don't get any extra money.
Well, my theory sounds simple. Surely if they worked it out, it could work, and then they could get the food fixed.
It's not only the production of food that's a problem, it's the distribution.
I know.
And then there's the case of supply. Supply and demand drive people to grow things. And if there's an oversupply, farmers are better off just to plough it back into the ground. They'll get, like with this guy with the beans, he'll get at least nutrition put back into the ground. But I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a food shortage, but I think there'll be lines of food unavailable in the near term. And a vaccine for this develops, let's say we're really lucky, in 12 months. By the time you get the vaccine, possibly the virus has mutated and the vaccine will be useless. People that are doing these studies are telling everyone we're developing a vaccine for the current virus.
But
If
sir,
it
it's
mutates,
changed.
well, I don't know if it's changed, but if it does, then you only need a couple of genomes to change, and a vaccine won't work.
It is unfair, Mel, that you don't get help.
That's why every year people get the flu shot. And it's not because it doesn't work, it's because sometimes different flus are selected as being the nastiest one for this year. So they'll create a vaccine for that. It's not the same flu that they're creating a vaccine for each year. It's the worst one.
But the new one for this year's just come out a couple of weeks ago here in Australia. And it's already obviously all what you call frontline workers, they have to have them, like nursing homes, doctors, nurses, they've got to have them. They have no choice. When I worked in the nursing home, I had to have the flu shot every year, whether I wanted it or not.
Mel, I don't think it's that you're not getting any help, but that could be true. But what you're not getting is any recognition for what you're doing. I believe, look, they've just given the unemployed double the benefit. If these essential workers are working and they're in the front line, double their pay.
Yeah, you should be getting double, Mel. And all the protection and stuff that you need. Now, who's this fat chavo
It's the Mr. Figueroa
in
himself.
disguise?
But I don't know. Like I say, there's a lot of people that are doing an incredible job. Look, I'll give you one example that no one even thinks about. What about the garbage men? Just imagine how many viruses are attached to different items being thrown away. But they do their job every day. They're not going to be called heroes. No one's going to clap them.
Yeah, I know, Mel. I agree, because there are some people who deserve it, but I agree with you, Mel. And of course, anyone that's on Centrelink will argue and say, oh, we're not all the same. But there are people on Centrelink who do not deserve the double.
Right, ban him. Ban that Shamo bloke. He's gone.
Ban? Huh?
Yeah, ban. Yeah, gone. He's gone. But I can tell you. I can tell you why they're doing it, Mel. Why they're giving people a lot of money is because the economy is grinding to a halt, but people with more money on low socio-economic levels will spend it, you know, on, say, food from a restaurant or delivered something else. So what it is inadvertently doing is putting money into the hands of people who really aren't used to having money, and they'll spend it. So it creates the economy. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, sometimes it's just too much. More people getting out in the garden, growing food and doing different stuff. I think that's brilliant. Keep
Yep.
up this distancing thing when it's all over. Keep
Oh,
these
it will
things
be.
on the ground. Because sometimes people come into my space, I'm thinking, move away.
There's no point giving a multi-millionaire more money because he'll only spend what he was ever going to spend anyway. But someone who's on the breadline and just gets by each week with the rent and food, if you double their unemployment, they will spend it. And that is what it's all about, because at the moment our economy is ground to a halt. It's the same all around the world, I know. And our governments, my Premier in Western Australia said today, we aren't rushing back into this. We have next to no one dying. We have very low contract rates of the virus, but he's being overcautious. And everyone's getting paid, and everyone that's in trouble financially has been looked after. So I hear whispers of different things around the world where people say, we all should get back to work. Let's get back to work now. Crazy. It is absolutely stupid. The death rate in some countries could have been avoided. And to go back too early, you will have headlines saying second wave takes more lives, because the ignorance and greed of people will mean that they'll try to go back too early. That's my piece for the night, but that's what I truly believe. Our state is not doing it. Our state is closed down, tight as a drum. And no one's dying, and no one's contracting the disease, really, in very low numbers. Well, yeah, well, that money goes into the economy, Mel.
What?
I don't think any country's at their plateau at the moment, to be honest. There's too many unknown variables with this virus. People who have had it and been cleared now have it again because it lay dormant within them, which means they can spread the disease. So there's no easy answers. And it's one of these things that time is a factor. Well, I would rather we stand together, Scarlett, and we do things together, not different parts of countries and different states, and then all of a sudden there's these huge outbreaks of a second wave. The only thing you can do is come back gradually, and that's what's going to happen. There's not anyone around the planet is thinking like if there was 1,000 workers in a factory when it started, they've all been laid off. 1st of May, we'll all go back. That's not going to happen. Two things. One, that would be silly. The other main thing is the demand is not there.
It's all right, Shamo. I won't make you go through it every time. Maybe every second time.
Anyway, like I say, if there was an easy solution, I want to know about it. But there ain't. There are too many variables. And if we gradually go back and there is an issue, we can gradually wind back. So unemployment in all of the developed countries will be high, and I'm going to tell you this, for at least a year. Because let's be honest, if I said to all of you now, how many of you, if it was ended today, it's all finished, how many of you are going to spend money and do things and go places and go on holiday? I'd be surprised if one of you said yes.
We might within our own country, but not overseas like
No.
we wanted to.
No, boat cruises, don't think they're going to be very popular for probably a decade. So the truth is, even if things came back to normal, in brackets, it's not going to be normal. People are going to spend less. People are going to try and put money away, thinking, well, what if this happens again in 6 weeks? So there's no big spending occurring. And holidays are like, people are so dubious. Do you want to fly to China? Let's go to Wuhan. No. What about we fly to New York? No. So the psyche of people in general would be, they would be very wary.
Yeah, so do we, Mel.
We isolate. It won't be going back to what it was, Ella. You're absolutely right. There is going to be a new normal. Social distancing will probably become normal. You'll go to a chemist or drugstore, as you guys call, and there'll be yellow dots or blue dots on the floor, and you'll have to stand on it 6 to 8 feet apart.
Yeah, it's right.
That's how it will work.
You enjoy your
Banks,
farming, Mel.
post office, supermarkets. These are new standards, I think, that people realise that, well, this is a virus. This is what I don't lose sight of. This is just a virus. Does it mean that nothing's going to happen for another 100 years? No. If you check the recent history, it's every 6 years
6, 7, yeah.
we get a virus that comes out of the blue. And it's usually due to human intervention in some form or another with an animal. So I'm not trying to alarm anybody, but this is just a virus. So we will end up doing things differently.
Well, in some respects, that's not a bad thing. Like I said, gardening, doing different activities, writing, spending time with your kids.
Yeah, all those things are important.
Family is
I know you support your president. I don't support his actions. I think he's done some good for the country for sure, but some of the recent... We've had this conversation before, Scarlett. I'm not having a go here. But his actions have led, I believe, to costing American lives.
Yeah, when you work all the time, Mel, I was the same when I worked in the nursing home. I enjoyed my... See, we're a different era, Mel. When we work and then we come home, we enjoy the family time or our own time.
Gardening.
And doing stuff. We never lost sight or forgot that there was another side of life than just yeah, we're talking now, but I mean internet or having to go out every single night somewhere.
Chick, I'm going to whisper it to you. There's always been a new world order. It just used to be called the old world order. It's fine. I'm the same with you, Scarlett. I don't support anyone who makes mistakes. I will forgive some mistakes, but some things I won't forgive. There's always been a controlling body on this planet. If you really think about it, and I've had this conversation before, but I'll give you the analogy. Let's say me and old Gringo came from the same family, and we go back 1,000 years in history, and all of them were wealthy. But today, old Gringo's not wealthy, I'm not wealthy. There's a reason why we're no longer wealthy. Because in aspects, if your previous generation saved money, you should have piles of money just building up. But every 10 to 15 years, the people that run the planet take your money from you, one way or another. So there's always been a world order. People just like to throw the word new. I think it's unnecessary because it's always been a world order. And we're not, going to their party. We're not invited. It's very simple. We are part of the plebiscites who will, from time to time, be leached of their money. That's it. I could name all the families. You've just mentioned Rothschilds, but there are many of them. A lot of royal families are involved in it, of course. So are you meant to, in generation after generation, build up wealth and hand it on to your loved ones? Yeah, and it happens, but then the money gets taken away. So what happens in things like just happened now is that many people's retirement funds, 401k, we call it superannuation in Australia, 30 to 40% of it's evaporated. But guess who went in and started to buy shares when they fell so low? Not me or you, or your super funds or your 401k organisers, the rich bastards of the planet. They always do it. One of the best stories, and Scarlett would know it, and most of you would know it, is the JP Morgan. Do you remember the penny on the dollar? 1929? Worked out well, didn't it? For those that run the planet. That's how it works. There is no new world order. It's just what people like to put in video titles. We literally have been living under control since probably 2,000 years ago. You are never meant to get above your station. Back down, people. I'm going to take money off you. That's right. I'm just going to give you enough money that you get by each month, but no more. No more than each month. But did you see what happened all around the world is that all the governments and reserve banks and banks in general started to be generous during this virus. But I know why. It's not because they like you or I at all. There's no reason to like you. But you're the wheels that make the economy spin. The plebiscites, the people. So if we don't take care of the people that build the pyramids,
See you, Mel.
you can't have any pharaohs. See you, Mel. But anyway, I'm drifting off into old school stuff. And the truth is that the reason why people have been given lots of money is because when this comes good, they need these people to kick back into the mouse wheels that you're placed on, to spin, to make money for the people that control the world. That's it. Many people don't even know how much money is being printed right now. It is staggering. It is unbelievable. And when I say printed, I mean digitally. But the truth is, what is money? Money is simply a transfer between me and Shamo. Shamo has a pig, I give him $1,000. Or I give him 400 pumpkin, 10 Swedes, 4 turnips, and my next season's crop of tomatoes. And he says, I agree to that. So it's a transfer of goods. In the modern world, it's called money. And it's so controllable. But we'll get by. As long as you know that you're never meant to get above your station, but to live a fruitful and enjoyable life, money is, in the big picture, not that important. Now, I wouldn't buy your pig. I don't know what you've done to that pig.
What?
Let's be honest. I mean, I saw it walking around with a fig leaf on his bum. I'm a bit worried. Yeah, it never really has been part of There's no Federal Reserves around the planet. We've got one in Australia, the Federal Reserve Bank of Australia. Nothing to do with the government, nothing about federation, nothing, zero. They're private entities run by the old world order. But don't tell anyone. It's true.
I don't understand half that. It's probably sometimes good to be ignorant.
And I did see an article from the US today that pig farmers are shutting down. They can't operate under the system with this virus, apparently. So bacon is going to be at a premium. So Scarlett, I want you to drive to town tomorrow and get 400 pounds of bacon and put it in the freezer.
You better do the same then.
I've got some bacon in the freezer, actually. But get some chickens, grow some veggies, get yourself a big bag of flour, bit of yeast. No, you don't really need yeast, you can create your own. But just have that sort of stuff on standby. So how much is a loaf of bread going to be? There's going to be a big dip in prices initially until supply becomes scarce, and then you'll have hyperinflation. Pigs are easier. I used to raise pigs all the time. I used to have two. My butcher friend of me would kill and cut them up, and he would get half a pig. That was the deal. Trust me, 100 kilo pig or 200 pound pig, I end up with 300 pounds of pig. That is an enormous amount of pig. And how long did it take me to do that? About 20 weeks. From piglet to bacon. Necessity is the mother of invention, and if you don't know how to do something, learn. You'll make mistakes, but you'll get it right eventually, and then that's knowledge, and you can't buy it. I think you got that half right, Shamo. You missed one word. Feral.
Yeah, feral. I'm going to go in a minute.
Yep, I'm going to go too. All of you, stay safe, be smart. Don't lurch back into society too early. You can yell at me later if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. There's no rush when this is what we're dealing with, because there are too many unknowns. That's a lot of meat, Scarlett. That's a lot of meat. But, I mean, even though I love my meat, I can do without it if I have to. Told you. Milk, bread, cheese, stuff out of the garden. Yeah, I'd miss me bacon and I'd miss me meat, but I'd get by. But tomorrow I'm going to be cooking meat, my pea and ham soup.
And Chamo, I'll whisper it. He's doing windows again tomorrow, Chamo. And Chamo, he did a window today.
Yes.
We're going to video it just for you.
Hello, Buttercup.
Oh,
How art thou, young maiden of the fields, frolicking amongst the vegetables?
Delicious. Buttylicious. Oh, that's good that you talk to your son.
Is he giving you advice or are you laying down the law? I mean, our quarantine's so strong. People have flown back from overseas, landed in Sydney, which is on the east coast of Australia. They live in WA, but they've 2 weeks been locked up in a hotel.
In Sydney.
They can't get a plane, so they're driving back to WA. And when they get here, they've got to spend another 2 weeks in quarantine. Our shutdown laws are severe, but they're good.
Our chicken ham is more big thing at Christmas, not at Easter time here.
No, we'll get ham, like I'll get ham off the bone for a sandwich or something like that, but well, sometimes you got to put up with the ice when you're at the top of the mountain. Shamo?
That's good, Bucky.
Again, my words are not politically driven at all, but Americans going back too early will be disastrous. That's my opinion. Nothing to do with politics.
Oh, look, see, there's another name. Beautiful Cup. Buttercup, you get so many nicknames.
Do you remember when you were a kid, Buttercup, you used to stick a buttercup under your chin? Do you remember that?
Oh, wasn't it Wet the Beds, they called them?
No,
Oh, no, that's
dandelions.
the daisies.
Dandelions.
Dandelions,
Yeah.
that's right. Wet the Beds or something. See, it's not a big thing at Easter time, a ham here. Christmas it is.
Easter, at best, would be a barbecue.
Yeah.
Christmas will be a barbecue, but with the trimmings.
But
We don't do turkey, as a rule.
no, don't do turkey either. Oh, people buy the ready rolled breast turkey roll thing.
I don't like breast meat. I like dark meat.
So I
A
like
good
that.
dark meat of turkey tastes like beef. Yep, I remember doing that as a kid. I used to get the reflection of the yellow on your chin.
And make daisy chains.
Well, not with buttercups.
No, I was thinking it was made with the daisies. I have to cheat. Well,
That's right, there used to be, I can't remember myself, there used to be something you sung with it.
Something I haven't shown the grandkids actually.
What's that?
Make daisy chains. And get a leaf and put it 20 thumbs and blow, make a whistle.
Yep, gum leaf.
Yeah.
But in all this doom and gloom that surrounds us, with the media doing their best to scare the shit out of everyone, at least if you talk to people and explain that, yeah, it's not good, but let's work our way through it. Doing the hype to make things worse is not the way to do it.
Yeah, that's half the media. That's the problem, isn't it? We should have a, what's the name? What do you call it? Crossword, no, jigsaw puzzle championship. Actually, I've got a jigsaw in the cupboard.
I'll do a time lapse of you doing a jigsaw.
I just remembered.
Ella doesn't watch the boob tube.
There's a lot of people's videos I haven't caught up with it in months, actually, I've got to be honest. I've been
I don't go to a
doing
lot of the
other
nonsense
things.
channels because it's the same. It's Groundhog Day every day.
We're just waiting for Chamo to put his holiday videos up.
Yes, he was going to, but it is 20 degrees Celsius here and we're cold. Depends how much of the mice have eaten the pieces,
I've
Buttercup.
always enjoyed doing jigsaw puzzles. I mean, when was the last time any of you actually did a jigsaw puzzle? Think about it. They were very popular at one time in the 70s, weren't they? And I picked up a couple Christmas or one before. And years ago I used to have one set up at the table, and every time someone used to come, they'd do a bit.
I put a new video on Fat Chamo. Put the link in here for everyone, Chamo.
Yeah. 50 Fahrenheit, what's that?
50? That's still cold.
No wonder the squirrels are hiding.
one thing the Canadians unfortunately have to put up at this time of the year is the change in the weather. So all that snow becomes slush, crappy, muddy. That's the worst part of a Canadian winter when it ends. 19, you're 1 degree cooler than we are. And that's at night time here.
Oh, that's good, Chick, because I bet you that's something people haven't actually done in many years. Sit down and everyone take part in the jigsaw, or someone walks past, oh, that piece goes there.
I might even start my bread off tonight and let it,
Bread.
yeah, let it rise all night. Yeah, that's cold. 15's cold. Minimum winter day our maximum winter day temperature would be about 20 about now. It can get colder overnight, like down to 3 or 4.
You can't.
Car post links don't have qualify for reach on this channel. Yeah, that's right, because you're unreliable, basically. But let's just be honest here. Celsius. Brr. You should all enjoy my pea and ham soup tomorrow. Well, I will. Actually, pea and ham soup tastes better the next 2 or 3 days after, when it macerates. Yes, I said macerate. Don't get any ideas. No, that's a car. Macerates. M-A-C-E-R-E-T-E. Yes, if you go macerates. I know what you were doing. Brum brum. Yes.
Right, come on, give me
Oh, look. Shema has somehow
fig red.
transcendental into an admin.
Right, whack the link in. Like I said,
I think he's just realised.
yeah, he did. He didn't click it first. I've been a bit slack watching people's videos, I've got to be honest. I haven't put any up in ages.
Yes, you've got a couple of big videos to put up, yeah. The last 10 weeks of the build, I think.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Have you noticed something that when you click on someone's name, you can't go to their channel anymore from a chat? Everybody, did you realise that?
Is that a glitch, or is that just a new thing? Privacy law?
I don't know. Budgie and I were talking about that the other day. Ooh. Yes, well, he'll be pissed when he sees it. He's probably watching, but it'll be 3 months before he can chat again.
Yes.
Yeah, like, we know that, Chamo.
I've only ever booted a bully.
We explained
And
yesterday
it's more to do with a sentence, a period of time for him to reflect. Because after this, there is no more chances.
Well, people, I'm going to go and play Yahtzee.
The mechanics are the worst cars to drive. Every mechanic I've ever known drives a heap of rubbish.
Yes, Yahtzee. Google it. It's a really good, it's another good family game. You can also do it on your phone.
You can play it online, can't you, like you're doing?
Yeah, like I play with my daughter. Virtual kiss, virtual hugs. Love yous. Won't get that off seeds.
I like yous, all right? You're welcome to visit the rock in the middle of the jungle for a visit, all right? But don't take pieces of rock away.
Well, no, you can't.
It's
do
our
that.
rock.
No,
Collective rock, if you like.
You can't even climb it anymore.
Egalitarian rock. Anyway, we're going to go to bed. I've worked hard all day on windows. I could do videos of windows for the next 2 hours, Shamo, if you're not busy.
What?
I can show you each putty line that I put through,
You've got to do
each area that I sanded back and filled in.
You've got to dedicate.
A bit like watching grass grow,
a
except
win-
this is sort of timber and glass.
Do window videos just for Chamo.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, look, window. We're going to bed. Have a great day or night, wherever you are. Be safe. Be smart. Yeah, whatever you do. Just don't go back too early.
But you don't build.
Stay near the rock. It's far safer. Good night.